forget to like press?
I was like all messed up right there. What's up, all you awesome gamers? I'm the governor, one of the hosts of this fantastic podcast called The Console Corner, your number one source for all things gaming. If this is your first time listening to the show, we dive deep, oh so freaking deep, into the gaming industry, news, games, and everything in between. Tonight is going to be a great freaking show. Tons of freaking craziness to talk about. Oh, big shout out to the Dazcast, Triple Cups, podcast too, and JKB's podcast. I was on all their shows this week. It was a good time. Everybody was super fantastic and very welcoming, and I appreciate it. I just wanted to throw that out there before we continue on. But let's go ahead and introduce the rest of the hosts on the Console Corner. First up, we have the lovely Pain in My Booty, She-Wolf.
Why am I pain in your booty? Why do I have to be a pain now?
I don't know. Sure,
you gotta save that booty somehow.
You know, these chairs still hurt my butt.
Well, I mean, you're sitting in one spot for 2 hours.
I sit in a freaking gaming chair for 4 hours.
Well, what do you want gaming chairs here now?
Maybe.
My God.
Maybe.
My
gaming chair. You can get one for me.
Right?
If you guys know how to donate to the show, just go ahead and get it done now. So
save that booty again. We're gonna start that up again. Mr. Magic Mike, how you doing, man?
Yo, what's up, everybody? A little under the weather, so I apologize in advance in case I blow out some phlegm onto my camera and y'all see that. I hope to keep it to a minimum. But ready to talk about some awesome games with these awesome people here tonight.
Nice. Brutal, feeding his face with a sandwich, and we're all jelly right now. What's up, dude?
I'm so hungry right now, dude.
He was making all of us so hungry during the pre-show. He's just eating into his mic. He's like, sound like freaking Cookie Monster or something.
What's up, guys? I'm doing freaking fantastic. I got into the house right before the show started, so
yeah, you did.
Cheers, bitches.
Let's see. Destro's out playing Little League right now. He got onto one of the teams, so he's gonna have a good time out there.
A big
I don't
giant.
really think that's what happened, but we'll stick with that.
He loves wearing those little uniforms and stuff. And next up, we have Mr. Sith. How you doing, bro?
Good. Getting ready. Let's get ready.
That's what I'm talking about. We need some more hype from you, Sith. He's way hyped before the show starts. He's in there just rattling off all kinds of stuff, and then in the show he's just like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
He's gonna listen to this and he's gonna come in next week and be like, "Oh, so that's what you guys think, huh?"
Right. All right, before we get into the topics, we work hard to bring you the Console Corner every week. Make sure you're subscribed and hit that bell icon so you know when we go live. Also, if you like what we do, consider supporting us over on Patreon at patreon.com/Console Corner. Super Chat is also up if you want to go ahead and support us there. We'd really appreciate it. Make sure you get us your questions in the chat or in wherever else you could put Twitter and all that other kind of stuff. We'll talk about it at the end of the show.
I don't know how you're going to do Twitter.
What do you mean?
Are you watching Twitter?
I got Twitter out right now.
You're watching
I got all the things. We got all the things.
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into my favorite topic of the week, and that is what games we've been playing. And Sith, what you been up to, man?
Still Far Cry. I'm at the end of about 32 hours in. So,
nice, dude.
Yeah, I'm about to finish it.
Good stuff.
About it.
Brutal, what you been playing, man? Fortnite. Tons of Fortnite.
I haven't actually. I played a lot of Fortnite still, but I made the terrible mistake of going to try to play PUBG again. That hot garbage of a game.
Whoa!
It is the worst, most underdeveloped game ever made. There's no excuse.
There's no excuse.
No excuse. Blue hole while your game is garbage still.
Yeah.
I played 2 rounds and I turned it back off. It's terrible.
They've been focusing on the mobile version. That's why it's still a mess.
Dude, the mobile version plays better than anything else.
You're absolutely right, Mike. The mobile version plays much better than the console or the PC at this point. I don't know why that game still requires a $2,000 PC to be able to run smoothly.
I have no idea.
If you call that smooth.
It's ridiculous, bro.
I
Yeah,
know.
if you call that smooth, that's giving it something. Real
still a
stoked
good game.
about Cliffy B's game coming out tomorrow. Don't know how good it's gonna be, but
Another battle royale game, guys.
That shit came out of nowhere.
Right? It was just like dropped on. He's like, "Hey guys, here's a game. Bye."
Is it free to play or is it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
free
he
to play
said
on
free.
Steam.
Yeah.
It's like
All right, they learn it. They learn it. So.
yeah, exactly.
He just needs to learn to shut up and not say anything stupid. That's what he needs to learn.
Yeah. Well, he wouldn't be Cliffy B if he.
I guess that's true. That's a good point for sure. Magic, what you been playing, bro?
Oh man, I've still been living out Far Cry 5 life. But this may come as a shock to some people. I have been playing The Last of Us Remastered.
Oh,
Oh my god!
breaking hearts out there, man, right now. You are breaking some hearts out there.
It's not that great, is it, Mike? It's not that great, is it?
You know, I'm man enough to say this. The opening of that game made me cry.
Oh,
Yeah.
it did. It did.
Yeah, it did.
Millions of other people too. Millions,
Yeah.
and myself included. And I don't cry.
And
I remember
there are
last
not
time
many games that will do that, but I mean, they definitely know how to pull at those emotions there in that opening. You know, the gameplay, it's an old game, so it's hard for me to say whether it was good. Like, maybe if I'd been playing it when it first came out, it'd be like, oh man, this is great, but I'm kind of used to the gameplay mechanics in other games. But, you know, the game is very solid. I'm enjoying it very much. The story, the plot, the narrative, everything is just really, really solid.
That's awesome, man. Awesome. Glad you're enjoying it. Fuck all those haters that unfollowed you for it.
Oh.
Sorry. Oh my gosh.
Do I even want to know?
She-Wolf, what you been playing?
Tera. A lot of Tera.
A lot of Tera.
A lot of Tera. But
I
that's
played
not-
some.
What?
Sorry, I played some Tera on PC too. I didn't play it on Xbox, but I played it on PC.
Nice.
I played on Xbox. I'm sponsored for Xbox, so I played on Xbox.
Humble brag.
I will.
Right?
I gotta like throw out all of my like sponsors.
I was like, soon you're gonna be streaming. You're just gonna see flashes of just.
You know, it was funny. I was talking to GKB about chairs or something, and he's like, "You're gonna be like a walking billboard soon."
For sure. Just gonna have constant
like-
just spamming of.
Joel's stream is gonna look like a NASCAR interview. I'm just gonna have
No. Like
a
wearing my
jacket with those
Discord
patches
jacket.
all over it.
Yep.
Oh, I got
exactly.
Discord jacket on right now.
I think I said something like that. I was like, you can get a bunch of pins or something to put on there, and you can.
Pins? I don't want pins. They can be like iron-on patches or something.
I just wake up in the morning and piss excellence.
Shameless
That's all.
plug.
Yeah.
I know, right? It's so funny.
Any other games you've been playing?
Fortnite. That's been pretty hectic. But other than that, it's just been a lot of Tera. So
Big shout out to the GBO crew and She-Wolf, fan. You guys have been laying it down lately. You guys have been getting crazy follows and all kinds of stuff. So
That is not a false statement.
not a false statement.
not a false statement. Let's see. What have I been playing? Been playing a lot of Baked Potato X lately. That's been a good time.
But do you know how much it costs for a Blu-ray player and a PC? You used used parts. So that means it can't run right.
No, it's not recording my gameplay like the One X is, so it's out in the water now.
It's good times. Good times. To be fair, like I haven't had a lot of like troll comments on that one. It's been pretty positive for the most part. I've been pretty fair in that freaking video. I was talking to Mike about it on the show too.
All jokes aside, like the comments made were valid,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
but I think you set out to do what you wanted to do with that price range. So
Absolutely, man.
That's right, all you listeners. If you haven't watched it yet, go check out the last video that GKB uploaded on this channel. It was a very fair and balanced approach at a budget PC build that can actually achieve some quite good metrics there.
For sure. I gotta hire Mike for my PR guy. He's awesome.
your image guy.
Yeah, I've been playing some Tera. Like I've been playing the whole like let's make a video game right now, and then playing some Tera. Played a bunch of games for the Baked Potato X and all that kind of stuff for the video. So that's what I've been doing. I'm excited to get back to actually playing video games. I want to get back into Far Cry for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm playing that tomorrow.
Ooh, nice. Are you on Dash tomorrow?
No, Tera's tomorrow. Wednesday I'm playing Far Cry.
I was gonna say I thought you were on Dash tomorrow.
No,
You're playing
tomorrow I have Dash with Tera, and then
She don't even know what she's doing.
I do.
Dance. They got you
so
by
much
the
stuff going on.
Yeah.
They got you by the
She-Wolf.
strings, She-Wolf.
You're gonna do what we tell you to do.
Hey,
This
I
time.
did pretty damn good today. I am
You
like
did
really,
awesome.
really like satisfied with myself today. So I'm
Yeah,
happy.
that was an entertaining stream, for sure.
I raged a lot. At least this, like the morning. I was so pissed.
Why did you rage?
Because every time I would start playing, I would like land and then someone would shoot me in the back with a shotgun. Like I'd get one shot and I literally I was like, "You fucking piece of shit!" I was yelling. I was so pissed.
There's a lot of people asking you to play today, weren't there?
Yeah. I don't know. What?
It seemed like there was a lot of people bugging you about playing and stuff.
Oh yeah, well I had it open. I eventually turned usually Mondays I open it to like followers and stuff like that, which tends to help with just a tip for anyone who's streaming.
Welcome to the Mixer Podcast.
I know, right? Anyways, seems GKB's being a jerk.
I'm sorry, guys. It's all good. GKB wants.
Only got a show to run, guys. What do you want?
Moving on.
Let's get into that first topic. Let's see. Middle-earth Shadow of War is ripping out microtrans. So loot boxes and all that kind of cool stuff is going to be going away around the 8th. And they're going to be changing a whole bunch of stuff. But my question is like, why now? Like, it's literally been out for a long time now. And their kind of explanation for it was kind of like weak, too. It's like, hey, we want to get, fix the Nemesis system and all that shit. You guys knew you were putting the microtrans in the first place, and now you want to come out with this bullshit fucking excuse why you're ripping around. Just say, hey, we've been getting our ass handed to us, like, from fucking the gamers out there about microtrans, and we're just going to take the shit out so people stop complaining about it.
Yeah, bro, those are the two things, dude.
Yeah.
One, they just want to get them out so they can get their name, even a little bit of publicity, but any publicity is good publicity. They made their name into the headline somewhere that people get to talking about their game again. And two, they're just getting too much shit for any game right now with microtrans that has any type of effect on the game is getting wrecked. It's really dangerous to do that right now.
You know what I find really interesting? Shadow of War and Battlefront 2 were the two big multi-plat games last fall, and both of them got ripped on in their reviews and everything because of the microtransactions. And now both of those developers are pulling the microtransactions from the game. So maybe the developers are starting to get the clue that, if you want to make a AAA game and you want people to actually like buy it, don't keep, hounding them for money after you sell it to them.
Oh.
Agreed. What about you, Sith? What you thinking, man?
Well, it's about damn time. It's about damn time that they're doing something. I'm happy that they're doing something to the right. And, hopefully the industry would take note of this. I'm pretty sure they have. I'm pretty sure they heard and all this other stuff. So, yeah, just hope for good things, That's that. Oh, and the Spider-Man game, I hear it doesn't have microtransactions, surprisingly. So,
nice. Nice. What about you, She-Wolf? You a fan of microtrans? You like spending all that money?
Well, it depends. Like, if it's for skins, Fortnite, if you actually put them lower, depending on what it exactly is for, I don't mind it. Like, if you have, like, skins or something where you can actually, like, spend, say, $5.99 and get, like, a really cool-looking skin for your character or something in-game, I don't mind those because, half the time you are standing out from your from other people around you. However, there should be ways to, obviously earn other forms of like skins or something like that as well if you are going on that idea of it, so the people who can't afford it. However, once any form of transactions come in that deal with making, you a better player, or whether it's to just progress your game to where you're above anyone else, I don't think that that's fair. And I think that's kind of like a waste, especially like, what these guys said. You've already paid for the game, so why are you still making us pay even more for more stuff?
Especially the way Shadow of War did it. You could spend dozens and dozens of hours to fill out your army by recruiting captains and everything like that. Or you could spend $50 and fill out an army that way with some of the top level captains in the game.
Yeah. And
I think like towards the end of the game, you actually had to do that to even kind of help get through the last part of the game. I mean, they said you can grind it out, but it like infinitely took way too long
Weren't
to do
you
so.
also able to pay to like skip certain spots so you didn't have to do it?
Oh, that I don't know. That's kind of a dick move altogether.
I thought that was in there about something. I could be wrong. It might have been a different game. I thought I read something though that it was like you had to like you were able to pay to like skip certain bosses that you couldn't beat and stuff like that. You were able to pay,
my whole thing is like you've already had them in for this long. Like why take them out now? And then it's like I don't think it's gonna give any resurgence to.
I think Brutal was right on the fact that I don't think it's actually about taking them out.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about getting their name back into some form of light. Like there's so many games.
So they're talking about them again?
Yes, because there's so many games that come out nowadays that it's hard to keep your game where people are actually interested in it and talking about it. Now, yes, it is an RPG game, but at the same time, this game was supposed to have a really long longevity to it for the way that they created it. But people are
they made you grind. And if you want to get faster, just go buy our microtrans.
Yeah, but now it's getting to the point where people are moving on because like the battle royale thing is becoming like the big hit now, and RPGs are kind of slowly getting pushed to the back of the line. And I think that's where a lot of people are starting to realize that like their games, if you want to actually like get your game out there, you're going to have to start talking about your own game. Like Brutal said, bad publicity or good publicity is still publicity no matter how you look at it. So for them to turn around and say this now.
So kind of like what Hayden's saying in the chat there, he's like setting up for their next game.
Either that, or maybe there's going to be like some new DLC that hasn't been announced that they're going to be talking about soon, or a Game of the Year edition where they just want the stain of the microtransactions removed before that edition or DLC comes out.
But it's also because like when you turn around, everyone knows that microtransactions has been a big issue into games in the first place. Now, if they turn around and they come out and say this, then it's going to be like, wait, there was microtransactions? So, of course, they're either talking about that, or you have the ones that are like, oh, my God, yes, even though they had actually no clue why they were there in the first place.
Here's the other question I want to ask you guys, too, to this topic, because we were talking about this on JKB's and podcast on Saturday there, is like, okay, so they get a big backlash from microtrans and loot boxes and all that stuff. So, essentially, I think the industry is going to move away from that and not do that anymore. They'll either do like, hey, you can buy skins type of thing. Now, do you think there's going to be a fundamental change into where this could affect us as gamers, like paying more for the game up front? Or, I mean, how else are they going to make? Because I think like the budgets are inflated for video games right now. They could definitely cut fat on their end, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. So I don't know. I think something's going to come to a breaking point for either us having to pay more, or they're going to figure out some other ways to dupe us.
I think there's always going to be a desire and a market for microtrans, and even if they're not like game breakers or like that advance your game, cosmetic microtrans are really attractive to people. I mean, at least they are for me. I haven't bought any skins. I haven't spent any money on Fortnite except for I think I spent like the money that I earned throughout the season on one thing. But
didn't you buy the season?
No, I didn't.
You didn't buy the battle pass?
No, I've literally spent no money on that game. I like the skins. I just can't bring myself to spend $20. And
neither can I. And there's so many that I like too.
Yeah, it's insanely expensive. But they did it with doing only in-game currency like that. Their own V-Bucks like currency is so shifty, and like it's smart on their end because you have to buy it in certain increments. So you have to buy more than you actually need.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
that was Microsoft points too. Drove me crazy.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like not offering like actual like real money purchases is ingenious because they're always going to get more than what the gamer actually needs.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not it's for the gamer doesn't really matter because they're a business.
It also gives the gamer a reason to purchase more of that in-game currency, because if you buy like a 500 coin pack and you spend 400 of them,
exactly,
sitting there that you can't spend. Well, okay, let me get some more 500 coin pack.
Well, that's
I've got 200 left. I just have to buy 2 more 500 coin packs.
Yeah,
I'll have that filled out where I get one free. It's like, yay, buy 4 get 1 free. You're not getting shit free at that point.
Like I know people that have bought out to level 100 to tier 100 on Fortnite for $150 fucking dollars.
It's ridiculous.
My
Well, I
God.
think overall it's going to get better. I don't think we're going to spend more money necessarily. I just think hopefully not hopefully, I think it's going to happen. The developers just going to start to make better games, and that's how they're going to make their money back. Because if they're making better games, they sell more, they get their money. You know,
Well,
and
the
then,
whole like
You know
making
what's-
better games. I think what GKB was talking about, and I didn't mean to cut you off, Shul, just real fast. I think what GKB, the point he was getting at, is the budget to make these better and better games.
They're getting crazy.
The upfront money that they are putting out, they're keeping the price point at the same price. So there's no, like, there's diminishing return the more
what
money
was
that
the
they put into
budget
these
on a
games
game
to develop
like
them.
Say it
compared
again.
to if we're like, what was the budget on Minecraft compared to how much money Minecraft made?
Minecraft had no budget. It started as some guy's project.
Well,
But you do know
exactly
that
my
how many
point.
like microtransactions are in Minecraft?
Well,
though?
not just. I mean, to Sid's point, like I agree with you. Like some guy, but like that's like striking, lightning striking and stuff. On that doesn't happen
Yeah.
for every game though. Like
Yeah,
certain
but every
games,
game
yeah.
could be profitable if at the $60 price point. If they have their budget in line and they make a good quality game, they
Well, I
will
think
make a profit.
Yeah.
The difference is that Minecraft was an evolving product that took years and years to get to where it is now. Even right now, the Minecraft that you're playing today, especially if you have an Xbox One X, is not the Minecraft you're going to be playing after May 1st, because the next update comes out, and that's going to be the Xbox One X enhancement when that comes out with it. So, like,
they also
Minecraft when
targeted
it
the
first came out.
perfect
Demographic.
demographics though by targeting like kids. Like that was their
Well, at
biggest
first, it
thing.
wasn't even-
But still, going back to the main cause of this though, even Minecraft has microtransactions. Do you know how many times I get our
Yeah,
freaking-
skins. They have skins all the
They're
time.
like, oh, can I buy this skin set? Oh, can I? Because you can buy these packs that like redo the whole entire world and stuff like that. Like our kids are constantly spending money on freaking Minecraft.
Yeah.
So
Well, and again, that's all the cosmetic stuff. I'm fine with cosmetic stuff if it's priced right, but the stuff that we're talking about with like Shadow of War, the stuff that's game changing microtransactions, that kind of stuff just needs to go and stay the hell away from my video games.
I still think out of every single game that has ever come out, the only game that's ever done microtransactions perfectly is Halo. Halo is still the only one that I find has ever done microtransactions perfectly. Because no matter what, you can earn all of the cool looking
fanboy.
gear. I know, I don't care. I'm sorry, but it's true. You can earn all of the cool armor just as anybody else can, or you can buy the packs, but even to buy the packs, you still can't use anything unless your team is actually there to help you get your like points up to be able to even spend that money, like to spend those cards or whatever.
I would give it to closely the Far Cry 5. Like that's the type of
Far Cry
style
5 is
I would
cool.
like, because you get bars in the game. It's not essential to the game. You can earn everything easily.
Yep.
So it's like it's really, you got a little bit of incentive, but it's like it's there just like for like a donation kind of.
Yeah,
Like, just to save like an hour or so, but
I agree.
that's perfect. Wow. And Halo, you got a loot box. Like, I want this awesome badass skin. It's not like, oh, pull off 10 headshots
And then you
do
earn that
X-
skin, yeah.
And then you earn the skin. It's
It's still
you have
random.
to play the lottery box. The randomness is just, that's the only thing I will strike against Halo for. But it's still a better system than I would say most games out there with their micro.
Sith, you got a nice like compliment in the chat there, buddy.
Oh, what?
Vic's wife.
You ain't even paying
He's saying you look
attention.
like Dr. Martin Luther King, man. That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
That's some racist shit.
Well, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Are we gonna get a big long speech now? Can we get the?
All right, let's move on to the next topic before this goes downhill really quickly.
I wanted that very touching moment. You ruined it.
All right. So Eurogamer put out this article about the PSVR feeling like the Vita, and it wasn't really a downer kind of article. It was a concerning article to them, but they were talking about like a lot of good games and stuff coming up there. But it does kind of and after owning the PSVR, it's something that I want to talk about too, because I really haven't put the PSVR on in quite some time, and I think it's just because there's not that big game in there that I just want to go put the headset on and go have a good time with. They're all still just little experiences, and
I do, but I don't like the freaking. Oh my god, I want to play Resident Evil 7 so bad, but I hate the shooting mechanics in that game. I can't stand on the VR. I can't stand it.
Wasn't you and Fox? Y'all didn't complete that, did y'all?
I beat. Oh damn boy.
no, her.
Boy,
you guys, when
I
you were
beat
streaming.
that game
no, when you were
twice.
streaming.
No,
Yeah,
when me and her were streaming, no, we didn't complete it.
Jeez,
But
you.
I have beat the game though. Like me
Boy, I beat the
personally,
game
She's
twice.
like,
I beat that game twice. Like that was one of my #1 games. But no, we got it in the VR though. But the problem with it in the VR experience is the shooting mechanics when you have to fight and stuff. It's like a click. It's like a click movement. So when you're trying to move, you're not moving as fast as when you're trying to just run around with a controller and stuff like that.
It's like a Telltale Games type of thing.
Kind of,
Yeah.
but it's worse because they're still moving as fast as they're
normally.
supposed to
Yeah.
in the game. So for instance, the girlfriend when she's going all mad crazy and you're supposed to shoot her, I'm trying to turn to shoot her and I'm going slow, but she's still running right at me into my face.
Yeah.
So
like Noof's talking about Farpoint too. Farpoint is another it's a good game, but it has the same kind of teleport mechanics, clicking around kind of thing. That's just annoying. And Doom VR 2 is similar. You have to teleport around while these guys are moving regularly, which is kind of an unfair advantage. And I want to move around like I am the soldier and stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Doesn't Skyrim VR also do that kind of movement as well?
Yeah.
we don't have
I don't know.
that.
I don't have
so
I'm not sure on that
I thought
one.
I heard it was the I might be wrong, but I thought it was the point and click movement style as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they
Hitboxes
picked.
on that at least should be a little bit better because you're just swinging swords and stuff and
Yeah.
which is GKP. I'm sorry.
No, I don't know for sure if it's the click around thing on the PSVR, but I mean on the Skyrim one, but yeah, that's just my biggest problem right now. The stuff that's on rails and the space stuff is really cool stuff. It's fun, but they're not very long experiences at this point. And I think that's what it really needs. Even GT Sport, it has a really cool racing mode in it, but it's just one mode. The rest of the game you can't play in VR, which I don't understand. When you put this mode in, why can't you just race the whole rest of the thing in VR?
yeah.
I don't know.
If Resident Evil was able to turn their whole game into a VR experience, I don't see why the other games couldn't have turned their games into,
Money.
especially a racing game
of
because
faith
of the
in the
fact that literally you're
Uh-huh.
sitting in a car. You're telling me you couldn't have made that a full VR experience?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
I mean, that's a good point too. That was Brutal was saying, and a faith in the VR. I think it's kind of hard to develop for a VR game when you really don't know the outcome as far as financials go.
I think it's time for the industry to be honest with VR and know that it's to connect. And before that, it's the motion controls. It's just a gimmick. It's 3D TVs. I mean, yes, part of it is cool, but for gaming, as what is evident on everyone's point, it's not yet there.
Right.
And at the end of the day,
I
we're
think
talking
I'll
about
get
VR, we're talking about games. And
Until
the
it
games,
becomes Ready Player One. Sorry.
yeah, or the Matrix. That's
Or
the
The
one.
Matrix.
That's what made me just fall on my chair was, oh yeah, VR is just like the Matrix, and I'm like, stop lying. I cannot learn kung fu.
Yeah.
I can't learn
Right?
jiu-jitsu. Stop it. It's
Yeah,
just
but Ready-
I know
disrespectful
I'm
to the
plugged into the
Matrix.
Matrix right now, but this steak just tastes like steak.
Yeah, but I still think Ready Player One was still more VR.
It was
That would be a
close
closer form of VR that would make you actually think they would have a closer chance at actually creating than the Matrix,
Specific.
obviously, because you ain't gonna sit in a chair and have something plugged into the back of your head.
I would
I'm
totally.
sure you would,
Yeah,
but
let's have it hooked up to the brain. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah,
in
have fun
the
with that, guys. And
I would
then
totally do
when
that.
you have
I'd
a
be like,
pow-
sign me up right now.
So then when you have a
Like
power
dying.
outage, you're just pretty much like,
I'm just in a black
Y'all
room
gonna
at
be-
that point.
y'all
It's
gonna be
just
looking
dark
like,
room.
are you sure?
Like that
You
episode
sure
of
that's
Black
what will
Mirror.
I don't know what's gonna.
You're sure that's what would happen?
Well, I don't know because they were losing power in the ship, and they were like, "Hurry up and unplug everybody."
Have you
But
seen
Yeah.
that
So.
Black Mirror episode where the guy's brain fries
yeah, I
Oh,
did see that
yeah.
one.
Oh yeah, I did see that one.
and he dies in a tenth of a second?
Dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, was
it
that
whole,
the Star Wars?
No,
the
that was the
Star
scary.
Trek?
He was in the mansion and whatever.
No, this is the one where he's like hallucinating and like saw like spiders and stuff.
Yeah.
was like
Oh, because there was
Because
also
he thought he went to this place, and then he went into this like house,
other
and,
place, and oh right, yes.
and he was just
okay.
getting the shit scared out of him the whole time.
Yeah.
He's freaking out.
But I just mean the what you call it one did that too. The Star Trek one where he was like the captain of the ship and stuff, and
he put
got
their
like
consciousness in there.
yeah, and he got like locked in there as well.
Yeah, that's crazy. Good stuff. Yeah, VR needs some improvements. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Spyro is now confirmed. Who's a big Spyro
baby!
fan? Who's a big Spyro fan?
Yeah,
I
dude,
love
that's pretty cool.
That is
I'm
pretty
looking
cool.
forward to this coming out.
So after the rumors and leaks, Activision finally has confirmed the remaster version of the original 3 Spyro games, and it's coming. Activision announcement states the trilogy features scaled-up HD graphics, where more than 100 levels have been mapped faithfully to the originals, only now reimagined with modern mechanics to give fans an excellent gaming experience. In the terms of visuals, this is described as completely remastered collection with reimagined cast. I thought it looked really cool.
I feel like Spyro is one of those games that's old enough that warrants like a true remaster.
So
Like,
you're defending remasters?
I'm not defending remasters. Don't be putting words in my mouth.
I'm sorry, Bruno.
Because there's going to be some people that are going to hang on to those words. They'll be like, fucking hypocrite, listen to Bruno. Fucking guys, just bashing remasters last week.
You want a Spyro.
No, but I think it looks cool. I'm not going to buy it, but I think it looks awesome. And I think that when a game gets old enough, I feel like they can warrant like a remaster, I think. And I think Spyro is going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's it's a really good remaster too. Like they really did went back and like rebuilt the whole damn thing, and they were showing the side by side clips in the trailer.
Right.
I was like, wow, this looks really cool. That's the kind of stuff like I can get behind. Like if you're just like up-resing it to like try and bring it to like today's gamers,
That's
it's like
that's
we'll pass on that.
all right. Thank you for articulating what I was trying to get across better than I could.
Yes, Gunstar, I am not joking about that, dude. I would totally get jacked into the Matrix, bro. 100%.
I thought he was asking if you were joking about being excited for Spyro.
Right, that's what I thought too at first because we were talking about it, but they're kind of delayed. So,
Idiot.
what about? Oh wait, did you talk to about Spyro? You're like the biggest Spyro fan ever. You're like, I want a Spyro game. I want a Spyro game.
I want Kingdom Hearts now.
Oh my god.
Again, Spyro. Now I need Kingdom Hearts. No.
That fast. You just moved on like that quickly.
Yes.
Alice for Kingdom Hearts.
So I really love Spyro. I'm really happy it's coming. I'm probably gonna play a lot of Spyro because like one is
I don't
coming to
believe
the
you
Xbox,
now.
which is pretty cool. What?
I don't believe you now.
You know what? Go fluck a duck.
Wow.
Just go fluck
See
a
what I have
duck.
to deal with. See what I have to deal with.
Anyways, I am really looking forward to Spyro.
Abusive.
Everybody else terrified, like curling up, like, oh my god, what's going on?
Hashtag.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Anyways, this is why I don't bother talking
Oh,
because
stop.
you just all run your mouth. Run your mouth. Like you guys are somebody cool.
So you're picking up Spyro?
Maybe. I don't know now.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
getting it.
I'm getting it. I think it looks cool.
Are you?
Mike, you a big Spyro fan?
Not really, but my wife is. And
Ooh. So is this going to turn around like you're going to watch her play it?
no, I wasn't really a Spyro fan because I never played any of the Spyro games. It was primarily on PS1, and I didn't get a PS1 until pretty late in its life cycle. I had an N64, so I just never played much Spyro. So I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'm excited to give it a try, and I know she's going to really want to play it, and I think it'll be good to have for my kids to play, just because I know it's not a ton of games that are super kid friendly, but I'm glad to have one that comes out every now and then.
Heck yeah, man. For
It's
sure.
cute. Like it's one of those games. It's kind of like the Super Lucky Tail game that came out, but you're a cool little dragon that actually blows fire instead of just a weird.
Yeah. Hey, and Super Lucky Tales was a pretty good.
That was a good platformer.
It was like the Mario of like what you call it, Sony.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, you got Daz saying this word.
Fuck a duck. Hashtag. Fuck a
Daz,
duck.
don't do it, bro. Don't
do it. Do it.
All right, cool. Spyro, cool stuff. I can't wait to see it on whatever platform you're gonna get it on. Let's go ahead and talk about some really, really fucking cool game that I am super freaking stoked about, and that's Spider-Man. It's got a release date, and I'm super happy about this. It's pretty funny though. The release date is actually what the CEO from Disney or whatever last year was like. It's coming out in September. He just got the year wrong.
Apparently. So here's my question though: who will pre-order the collector's edition?
I hope you did for me.
That's about that. I want to get it, but I can't justify spending that much money, even though it looks like it's going to look really cool. But I don't know. I don't really get many collector's editions, but I'm very tempted.
Okay, so that's anybody else on the panel?
Nah,
Sith?
I'll never spend that much money on a video game.
If it was Iron Man, which is my favorite.
Ooh, Iron Man, nice, bro.
Okay, so Mike, here's something for you before you decide. The statue is not the statue.
No, I know
What?
they're not revealing.
He
it.
didn't know.
Oh yeah, no, I know. Like that's why I said it sounds like it looks like it's going to be cool, but they haven't really shown it yet. So
It sounds
you know.
like it looks like it's gonna be cool.
Well, yeah, didn't they? They showed like a
They
portion
showed, like,
of
a part
it.
of it,
The
the
rest
top
was all
of it.
like covered up.
Yeah, the
If
bottom,
it was
like,
if it's Spider-Man, the symbiote suit or Spider-Man 2099, then I have to. But other than that, I don't like the costume that he got right now.
Yeah, I'm still not into the white spider emblem. Like
Yeah.
that's the one.
I
thing
heard
don't
like in the
This was red, white,
beginning.
and blue, but
I heard in the beginning of the game though he has the original one, and then like that suit he got because of whatever he's going to be fighting throughout the game. So it's kind of interesting. It's going to be
The
plot
funny
towards the story.
part
Go ahead.
though is you get like 3 different, because when you pre-order it, you actually get like this bonus pack that gives you like 3 different skins. I'm curious if anyone's even actually going to keep the red and white suit, or if
Oh,
they're
yeah.
just gonna use all the other ones instead. They're just gonna be like,
One was
wants
totally
that
like
one.
Sunset Overdrive guy, like
Yeah, it is.
Oh, the
What-
punk Spider-Man.
the punk
Yeah.
one. I was like,
That's actually a character from the comics. He's like from a different universe, but anyway.
The
Yes,
Spider-Verse.
Gunstar. It's a placeholder statue. They're not revealing it until. Well, they say summer. I think they're gonna
Yeah, like-
reveal it at the at E3.
but I
think
mean,
is what
if
they're going to
like
do.
when you buy the dang thing and you get it and you finally gonna see it, like you're gonna kind of know the spoiler anyway. So I don't. Why not just show it now? Like,
I don't know, and that's kind of like. Don't you think that kind of makes people a little more weary about actually pre-ordering it
Fuck
because
no.
of the? No, some people. I'm not talking about you.
it's
You're
fucking
just
Spider-Man.
dumb enough to freaking do it, whether it looks like crap or not.
Yo, it's Spider-Man.
Well, from what I've heard about the suits in the game is that even the 3 pre-order suits, even if you don't pre-order it, you can still craft those throughout earning crafting components in the game.
I think so.
So, like if you don't like the pre-order bonus suits, then you could always craft other ones.
and that's how you do DLC.
Agreed.
But it's just the thing is like, why did they go with the white and red one then? If chances are nobody.
I think it's for like whatever villains he's gonna be fighting throughout the game.
But the thing is, it's still. you
I'm not a
still
big
have all
fan of
these
it
other
either. Like,
skins.
I like the traditional Spider-Man. I like Black Costume Spider-Man or the symbiote, like whichever one you prefer. I would like to have actually. I really wish. I said this on one of the podcasts. I think it was on Triple Cups too. Like, they would do Superior Spider-Man as a game where Doc Ock takes over like Peter Parker's body, and just that was like one of the best like Spider-Man comics like I've ever read. It was just so good.
It was a very good story arc. Yeah, there was a while there where I thought like Peter Parker was gone forever, and it was going to be Doc Ock as Spider-Man. For the
Yeah.
rest
And I would have been kind of okay with that because he did
It was
some
a very
cool shit.
interesting- Like the way that being in Peter Parker's body influenced Doc Ock's brain to be more good. Like
Yeah.
it was a very interesting way of seeing the character grow.
Yeah, but he was kind of like still fighting like he was like killing people and stuff.
Right.
It was just a great dynamic. I would love to see that, but I'm super hyped for this Spider-Man game. I think this is going to be like the best Spider-Man we ever seen. It has the potential for like another Game of the Year contender too. Like,
Yeah. Hey, it's one of the reasons I went out and picked up a PS4.
right? So I'm excited.
Do you think this game is gonna be deep enough to be Game of the Year?
I mean, it depends on like what. Like, we're not into the Game of the Year talks with all these other big guys, so I don't really know what their criteria is for Game of the Year. Is it just like, hey, it sold a shit ton? That's like, hey, you're in kind of thing? Is it like gameplay? Is it story? Like, what is their criteria? I don't know.
Obviously, like the highest selling games are gonna have a shoe in whether or not they're.
Yeah, I think they get a leg up for sure.
If Marvel got a big hands and stuff on the story, then maybe.
I mean, when's the last time? I mean, the other Spider-Man games that I can recall, and I'm not like a dictionary on Spider-Man by any means, as far as the games go, but I just don't really ever remember playing a gripping Spider-Man game.
Yeah, there has never been really a Spider-Man game that's been Game of the Year material. I don't think that this one's going to be, really in the running for it. It may be a nominee or whatever, but I don't think it's going to be the Game of the Year winner, especially when it's going up against, other heavy hitters that are coming out this year that we know of already. And
we already know Red Dead is going to be Game of the Year.
Right. Well,
is Red Dead coming out for that, or is it going to be coming out like in that time frame that's not going to be?
It's coming out in November. Right. I don't think November counts because there's been a couple of games.
I mean, if it doesn't win this year, it's probably going to win next year. It's like,
no, it could win next year, but I'm pretty sure it's because it comes out in November. I'm pretty sure their cutoff is like October.
Yeah, like I think it has to release in a certain time frame.
I don't know, because I feel like they would be smart enough to not release it right at the beginning of the new year and have an entire year for people to have it. I mean, I don't know how Red Dead 2 is going to be. None of us do, really. Mm-hmm. It looks excellent. We all have super high hopes for it. But is it going to be as mind-blowing that it's going to be fresh in the memory and fresh in the minds of people when it comes to vote for a Game of the Year come next October, next November? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that Red Dead's probably going to drop right before the cutoff for it. So it's going to be super hype. It's going to be really fresh in everybody's mind, and it's going to have that punch that it needs to probably win Game of the Year because it looks great. And if it delivers on what it looks like right now, it's going to be awesome.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And
it's going to be a tough game. Like, I think Red Dead, I think Spider-Man's probably going to be in the talks. I don't think it's going to win Game of the Year, and I think God of War
October
for sure is going to be in there.
2018.
Yeah.
So it should make exactly the cutoff. Because I think the cutoff is like November 4th or something.
Yeah, it's whenever COD comes out.
Usually, well, COD's coming out in October as well, though. So
I think Spider-Man's going to be one of the funnest games of the year.
I agree.
As far as like entertainment gameplay.
Yeah.
The only reason I say it's not going to be Game of the Year is because you don't really ever see comic book games making Game of the Year. Look at the Batman
or comic book movies winning Oscars. So.
Right, but
that's true.
Exactly. Like the Batman Arkham series, they're arguably the best comic book inspired games that have come out in many years. Not a single one of them ever got Game of the Year.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't see Spider-Man being in that caliber of game. Even though I'm not saying that it's not going to be a great game. I just don't see there's an intangible thing that I can't really describe that in my mind qualifies a game to be Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that's depth of story and feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, you compare
everything.
it to. I mean,
you gotta be everything.
Yeah, and it just I feel like Spider-Man may be lacking in that part. The physics. The action looks fucking crazy good.
Yeah.
Like really good. It's got me really, really hyped about it. But I just don't know if it's going to be a Game of the Year.
It's definitely going to sell well. I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the highest selling games of the year because I mean Spider-Man's one of the most popular
IPs
superheroes out
there. Yeah.
It's been marketed well too. It's been leaked and peaked enough, but it hasn't revealed too much.
A ton of stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm waiting to read that Game Informer article on it. For sure.
And
I really hope the Game Informer is not in the mailbox right now.
All that rain. Nice. Nice, soggy, wet dripping
I haven't
Game
checked the mail
Informer
yet today.
I miss when you used to be able to get a Game Informer in a plastic bag because there was a demo disc in the bag.
Right?
When was that? I totally forgot about that.
Back in the days.
Dude, I used to like...
Even like the old Xbox and PlayStation magazines would do that stuff too, man.
Yes.
I used to look forward to that shit so much, dude.
Yeah, man.
So always go to Blockbuster. The good old days.
Oh, Blockbuster was awesome too. Blockbuster was a good time. Yeah. Okay, cool. What do you want to do, She-Wolf? You want to do What's Out Now or you want to go on to Tera?
No, do What's Out Now.
Okay. Let's do this. You ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
Daz. God dang it, Daz.
Moist.
Bang, boom, kapow, it's What's Out Now. Are those really the lyrics?
Don't question my genius.
Take it away, Mike.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to What's Out Now, where we're going to be talking about all the awesome video game releases that have come out in the past week. So let's go back to Tuesday, the 3rd of April, for the PC, the PS4, and the Xbox One. We got a game release called Minute. This is a top-down, black-and-white adventure game. If you're into old-school top-down games, then this is really going to be for you. It looked really interesting. Also, that same day, we got Tera for the PC, the PS4, and the Xbox One. I know we're going to be talking about that later on in the show, but it's an MMORPG, so definitely a need for that on these systems, as we haven't seen too many of them lately. Then, on Thursday, the 5th of April, for the Oculus Rift and the Vive, we got a game coming out called Far Home. This is an early access game on Steam, and it's a VR sci-fi shooter. I don't know if it has the teleportation movement or not, but hopefully they're making some strides with that. Then that same day on the Nintendo Switch, we got Urban Trial Playground. This is a dirt bike game, and if you're looking for that BMX type of atmosphere, then definitely going to be for you. Then on Friday the 6th, for the PC, we got a game called Terror Rhythm. It's a music rhythm-based beat-em-up game. Go ahead and figure out what that one means, because I don't know. And that, everybody, is What's Out Now.
Man, that was a short list this week, man.
It was a short list this week. It's getting to that time of year where there's not a ton of huge releases coming out.
Just to
That's
tell
true.
everybody, Tera did not just release on the PC. It's been out for years on the PC. But it did just actually release to consoles. But
Huh.
Mike, did you say PC?
you didn't know that?
I did say PC. I did.
Oh.
I either wrote it down wrong, or again, my source has been
Mike,
asleep.
we're PC corner, bro. We're PC Master Race corner, man.
Yeah,
You gotta have
hardware
this
heroes,
right.
dog.
Oh, I know. I'm such a failure. Such a failure.
She was.
That's 2 weeks in a row now.
EME was just blowing up her DMs. They're like, "Fucking fix it!"
We're gonna have to change
She will.
That would be
Oh my
funny if they got if they were like, we did
Shut
not
up. You tell
just
him
come
right
out
now.
on PC. Where is he getting his information from? They would be so they
They
would be
just
hating on
email
her.
you and pull your sponsorship because you're associated with him.
That would suck. I would be so mad.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny.
They're not gonna pull their sponsorship though. So.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's go. Speaking of Tera, let's jump right into it.
Which just released on the consoles, not PC.
Poor Mike's getting trolled right now. He's like, screw you guys. All right, so start us off on this.
I've got a bad cold. Forgive me.
Was
Ah,
that
no
what it
worries. Start us off, She-Wolf, with Tera, Miss Sponsor over there.
Miss Sponsor. Yeah. So Tera is a free-to-play MMO. It officially released on April 3rd on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It has been out for several years on the PC. Again, it was
feel like
still
you're
a
trolling Mike right
free-to-play. No, it was still a free-to-play game. But it was agreed to come over to the consoles. They wanted to actually open up their viewer base and try actually taking on, new gamers to give them the try of it. And this game is really neat. One of the things about this game is they do have founders packs, which
To support them,
Tera,
basically.
I really love you, but I still don't fully understand the point of a founders pack. But either way,
It's kind of like donations, really.
I guess like it
Help 'em
ranges from $29.99 to $150. You get specific mounts that you can't buy in game. And of course you get like money to go towards the store, and you get a couple of other things like another character slot and so on and so forth. But yeah, other than that, like most people know what MMOs are. Open worlds, full
I think this
out.
one fits like the consoles a little bit better because it's like the actiony MMO type.
Yeah.
You can move around, hacking and slashing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of aim correctly because you can totally miss. Where in other MMOs, it kind of just auto attacks for you and you don't really miss anything.
Yeah, you can kind of do that. Like, if you're watching the video, you can kind of see you'll see like the blue light that you can kind of focus, but at the same time, it still can move around. It's just dead set on it. And they do have several servers. They do have PvP or they do have PvE. It is obviously an RPG game. It was developed by Bluehole Studios, which there's a lot.
Well, they
of
did the
people-
port, right?
Well, no, it's developed by.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, it was actually developed by. It's published by Massey. Sorry. There we go. Now I really get.
You're
in trouble.
fired.
Yeah, I'm fired. I can't even say your name right. But yeah.
I've been having a lot of good fun with it, actually. We've been playing a lot. I think we got like a shit ton of hours into it right now. We're in the 30s as far as level goes. I like how, you get things from them from reaching certain points in the game. They have really cool like artifact system where you can get some awesome weapons when you collect enough of those, which really helps you out. The glyph system's really cool to figure out builds and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty in-depth when you get into the meta. It's your basic MMO, like you go fetch quests, you go kill this guy, you go do this, kind of stuff. But it's pretty engaging. The story's not too bad. All around pretty good game.
It has cool dungeons.
The dungeons are actually pretty fun, actually.
Yeah, and so when you're doing the dungeons and you actually have, like, you're going against the bosses and stuff like that, they don't have your standard just 1 bar life and you have to, like, they actually have 10. Like, you have to actually get their lives down 10 times. Which is pretty crazy because, like, you lose, like, if you die, you lose. Like, you constantly have to keep.
I think it's a little bit more intense for us because we, like, fucking 2-man everything.
Yeah. So it's a bit more. But.
Like, if you had, like, a full team, I think it would be a little bit easier. I'm sure it scales, like, health and stuff depending on your team members and stuff.
I would think so. Well, no, it's always 10, but it's whether or not.
Yeah, but it's probably, like, more HP with more people.
Yeah, but
usually
you also
scales.
have your party to rely on, too.
Yeah. For sure.
Sorry, I'm just dropping back in. I had a dog emergency out back.
It's okay. But you get, like, your standard classes where you have, like, the priest, you have a healer, you have your warriors, which are the tanks, the berserkers and the lancers are your tanks, your DPS, which are the warriors, the archers, the sorcerers. There's also another race that if you get...
I hate archers,
or
by
class, sorry, there's another class. Once you get to level 40, you can get the Reaper, which is only one class or one race specific, which is kind of neat. The characters are kind of different too.
The classes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the races.
Races, yeah.
Not the classes, the races. You have, what? I think there's like 7 in
there's
total.
elf humans, like some kind of like big troll-looking dude.
And then there's like this weird-looking little dog, like fat dog thing. And then there's like some weird little girl thing. You can tell it's anime. I'm sorry, but you can. There's just
this
like
weird little girl thing.
she's an animal, but she's not an animal, and it's like a little girl. It's kind of weird, but she's like the Reaper. She's the one that can be the Reaper when you hit level 40. You can make a Reaper. And
Interesting.
Yeah, and then there's another one that unlocks. I actually want like some of the DLC that you get from the PC ones. There's like a Valkyrie and stuff like that, but I gotta wait.
You're such a PC master racer. I'm telling you.
I have to wait.
The Valkyrie is dope.
She is. Oh my god. I want the Valkyrie so badly.
What do you think of the game there, Brutal? I know you got to play a little bit of it.
I think it's awesome, man. I really like the diversity and like the different classes you can play. Something with the game never really clicked with me, and I can't really put my finger on it. I think that the instances are kind of weak as far as like the dungeons and things go in that nature. They just didn't really.
They're not super long like a WoW or.
Yeah, and that's kind of like what I look for in a raid or in an MMO. That's the only thing that attracts me to like Destiny besides the PvP is like the raid, or like that's the only reason I grounded WoW. That's why I don't play WoW anymore, is because I don't have the time to commit to like a raid group to be good at it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that, in my opinion, that's what an MMO is designed for, is to dump a lot of time into. Yeah. And because MMOs should feel epic and grand to me in design, whether it's PvP or PvE. The PvP is not awesome in Tera, in my opinion. But I like the thing that grips me about Tera. Like, I really like the combat style, and I really like the character design, and I really like the entire player experience is really fun. It's just when you get into group play, it just doesn't feel cohesive. Like you need to rely on people like other MMOs do. Like how you guys were saying, like you two-man a lot of stuff. I like an MMO where you can't
you need like a full team.
Where you can't underman certain things and still get by with it. Like you have to have a healer, you have to have a tank.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
So, I mean, I like the game Tera. I think it's a good port over for console because and this isn't anything against people that play console. I just don't think that there's the same mentality of that grind and dedication to like one single game as far as like MMOs go.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not so much console because maybe not so much like shooters and PvP stuff goes because obviously that's not true. There's esports and all that kind of stuff. There's people that are gods at that stuff.
Yeah.
But I think MMO in the MMO realm, there's a different kind of mentality approaching an MMO in a PC environment versus a console environment.
True. Big shout out to Gunstar. We did play a shit ton of Guild.
Oh my god,
Guild Wars 2.
Loved Guild Wars
to the
2.
point where we had to take a break from it because we were not doing anything else in
but
life.
Playing that.
But playing that.
It was
So,
bad. Got really bad.
yeah, we played a
We
shit
like
ton
had
of it.
full, like all of our character slots were all completely maxed out.
Yeah, level 80 is full geared. Everything
Yeah.
is
It was bad. But
fucking
the thing about like Tera though is it kind of came at a good time because Neverwinter and Warframe were both actually MMOs that actually were still doing fairly good on the consoles. And I think bringing Tera over to give a little bit of a different feel to it, I think was a good idea on their part.
I think Tera's the best.
If like what?
Just a quick add-on to what you're saying. I think Tera is the best MMO that's come to console.
for sure.
That's for sure. But if World of Warcraft came, I think they'd probably be destroyed.
Fuck, Jesus Christ. Could you imagine?
Dude, once those WoW
I think
Classic
everybody's been.
servers are up,
Oh, dude, WoW Classic servers. The grind's real again.
They do have to work on their servers, though. They're still, like, that's the one thing I do have to say when it comes to Tera is they still have to work on their servers. It is still a bit laggy because
It was kind of weird. They had like the beta like one or 2 weeks in a row, and then it was like, hey guys, here's the game. Bye.
Yeah, they literally
It's like really fast.
That is one thing I do have to say that I was happy that they did though, was they didn't constantly have you just play betas here and there and then like wait a year. They actually like tested it, and then released it. And then, of course, they released it a bit early for founders who actually helped support the game by, paying for their founders packs. And then they released it free, which is something that I think is really smart on their part to do,
For
that
sure.
they didn't make you pay for this. Obviously, there is microtransactions in the game where, you can buy skins
It's an
and
MMO.
mounts and all that kind of stuff. But that's any form of MMO. They all do it. So,
Word.
you can't really hate on a game for like this to do that.
A lot of the popular MMOs right now are like that, though. I mean, like look at like and I'm using MMO loosely, so don't attack me if all the games I say aren't like true MMOs. But fucking god, I can't stand some people. Anyways, I'm talking like PoEs, free to play. Lots of microtrans if you want them. Skins, cosmetics, in-game currency you can buy. PoE is awesome. I freaking love PoE. What's another MMO that's I don't know. My point is that, and going back to what we were talking about earlier in the show, like free to play plus with the addition of like open things is making its way further and further into market. So, and I don't see it ever stopping. Unfortunately.
True.
No,
Sweet.
no, especially when how much money was it that Fortnite made on mobile in 1 week? It was
We're
like,
gonna talk about that in a minute.
oh, okay. Yeah, no, free to play is not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere. All right, guys, let's go into the next topic. This is going to be kind of interesting. So Microsoft is apparently getting some big third-party deals, and it is possibly leaked a little bit ahead of E3. Let's discuss. So yeah, Rectify Gaming. Yeah, Rectify Gaming came out and said, Cyberpunk 2077, Battlefield 5, Anthem, Borderlands 3, a new Splinter Cell game, and a new Madden game. It's kind of all going to be fronted here by Xbox. What does everybody think about that? I mean, generally speaking, like Anthem was already up there and all
We
that kind
already
of
know
stuff.
about Anthem.
A lot of
We've
these
heard-
developers, they've already published before, so
The thing
it's not a
about
stretch,
all-
but at the same time, like,
The thing about all of these leaks is we've heard all these rumors before. Splinter Cell, we've heard several times now. Anthem, we've heard they had them
and we'll
actually
keep on hearing
show.
Splinter Cell until I get the damn game.
I'm sure you will. So really, like, are these really leaks, or are these just people just throwing out things again just because they do want them,
Well,
but may not actually?
Here's the
like,
thing I want to throw to you guys. Like, if they are real, is this kind of going back on like what Phil Spencer was saying before about, hey, we're going to be putting into new IPs, and now he's kind of backtracking on that? Is this just Microsoft doing reactive things again and not forward thinking and, sticking with the trends kind of stuff? Like, what do you guys...
I mean,
It feels very reactive to me.
I agree.
I feel like the whole third party marketing it's a good boost because it does get the Xbox on more media forms. You're going to see it advertised on online websites, TV, and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to get the brand back out there, and they need a little bit more of that brand recognition. They seem to have lost that this generation. But for the hardcore gamers like us, it means diddly poop.
well, I think it means diddly to a lot of, not just a hardcore gamer, but like, think about this. Put yourself in the position of like somebody who is looking at 2 consoles to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And they look at one console that has a lot of exclusive content on it, right? But then they have another console that has first access to third-party content. I'm buying the console that has a lot of first-party stuff that I'm never going to get on the other console, and I'll put my time into those exclusives first, and then I'll bid my time with those games until the third-party stuff trickles over to my side. And I think that all these deals are awesome. Don't get me wrong; they're definitely going to sell consoles, and all the games sound fantastic if they're all true. But I just don't. I don't think that that's the move that Microsoft needs to make. Is pushing.
Agree.
The way I see it, it's kind of like if you're playing poker, the marketing deals are like your pair of aces, but you still need to have those 3 kings to get the full house and win the hand. So that's what we need to see from Microsoft this year at E3. What else are they going to have to back that up? If they're going with the big marketing campaign, are they going to have that exclusive content as well to draw gamers over to buy into the platform?
I think they will. I don't know how much of this is wishful thinking, but I take this back to the early days of the PS4, where it kind of didn't really have that much exclusive, like worth getting a console over. While Xbox is like right out the gate, their lineup was awesome, and I knew, like, I know a lot of people were saying, oh, Sony don't have no exclusives and all this, while on the PlayStation. But in the back of my mind, I knew that they were going to come out with these exclusives later on in the cycle.
Well, and
like
I see
they
what
did
you're
with the
saying with that.
PS3. So I think Xbox, they're doing that. I know, like, if you're looking at last year, and just to say last year, we had, like, it's like 2 games practically, 2 or 3.
It was a hardware year too.
Yeah, so I think they're cooking it up now, and I think, I'm not saying like wait to E3 type of thing, but I know that they're working on something. I know we hear this about the Fable. The Fable is in the works. I know people can't say it. People got NDAs and all this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not signed to any NDA. Yeah, Fable is in the works. I know for a fact. So like, it's big games like that. It's going to happen. I know everyone can't talk about it, but I mean, that's the reality. So I just want to put that out there.
There was a good correction that was made in the chat from WDFC podcast. I think that's Sobski. I'm not sure. Phil did not mean no third-party marketing. He was just trying to be smarter about the money, and that's a fair critique to what I said. Yeah, I mean, but still, like, I have to agree with, like, Brutal and stuff is, like, their issue isn't third-party support. Their issue is first-party support and some new stuff there to grab people's attention. Like, if a lot of people are already playing it on one particular platform over another, I don't see a third-party game bringing people over to the Xbox from another platform. Like, I just don't see that happening. And from last week when we talked about the Witcher 3 sales, I think it was last week or the week before, we saw that Witcher 3 was marketed by Microsoft, and more people bought it on PC and PlayStation year to year.
Yep.
But that's because, okay, see, the thing is, though, Xbox is tend to known for, like, the multiplayer games. So when they lost Call of Duty, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
So, you know, having The Witcher, PlayStation is known for the RPGs. So really them having it, it's still it still has both, like, it's still sold on both of them regardless. But when Xbox is known for actually being that multiplayer, you should keep your third-party multiplayers for that, just for that in particular, because either way, having the
Do you think Xbox has a multiplayer issue, or do they have a single-player narrative issue?
But that's not so the problem that I find is, yes, they have, you know, the third part, like the multiplayer, but when Sony owns the rights to some of these high-end, like Destiny and Call of Duty, you know, when the times for those to release, people know the Xbox 4 being multiplayer. However, when they walk into a store, they see the banners, they see the posters, and they all say PlayStation on it, which then drives them more to go to the PlayStation side because they get the DLC earlier. So the big streamers, the big content creators, they're all going for the PlayStation side of it. So that pulls away, which then still hurts a little bit because of the fact that Sony's already known for their RPGs. So people already buy that console for the RPGs. So yes, Xbox needs to get their first parties, but at the same time, they need to be a little more cautious about what third parties are getting, because regardless, third parties still help sell consoles.
Yeah, and no, I kind of agree with you.
There's only so many first party games that release. So yes, there is the big hitters, you know, Halo, Gears. Yes, we know about those. However,
I'm just saying, like, I don't when I go and purchase a console, I don't go in there and being like, hey, that third party game is on all these consoles. You know, I'm totally gonna get it on Xbox or PlayStation. I don't do that. Like, when I go in and look at a console, I'm looking at their first party exclusive stuff. And if you want to argue whether Xbox has exclusives or not, that's a different argument. I don't really care. But
I'm sorry, Jacob. To the casuals that will see, okay, the Destiny poster, and they don't see an Xbox logo next to it, so you know they automatically think it's on that console. Microsoft is not making, or PlayStation not making that much money off of them because you're just going to buy one or two games in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the message here is, of course, first party exclusives matter more than third party marketing deals. I think no one will argue with that.
I agree with you.
And the first party exclusives will sell a console more. And then the first thing I'm thinking of is with Nintendo. Their first party exclusives are the reason why they sold that many consoles. I mean, of course, the mobile was good with third party and stuff, but the major thing was the first one. Like, I got the Switch because of Zelda, and I knew Mario was coming down, and I knew Smash Bros was coming down the line and stuff. So that's more of incentives to, I think, most people for purchasing it. And just the third party deals is just sugar on top. That's really what it is. And back to what Phil was saying too, about this is exclusive DLC for a month, which is just bullshit. It's just awful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just do the marketing.
But the problem is both consoles are not producing first-party games like that. They're not like Nintendo. That's the one thing that Nintendo
Have you not seen
has.
like what the hell fucking PlayStation's doing this year?
Yeah. Or what Microsoft, this Halo and Gears. I mean, I'll just say Halo alone. Halo alone is like, I mean, if you're comparing that franchise alone, money wise, compared to Sony, I mean, you really can't do it with Nintendo, but I mean, it's Mario, so.
Well, I mean, here's like the big thing, like right now, like even Mike just did it. Like, he picked up a PS4 for God of War and Spider-Man. Like, how many more people that don't have a PS4 are gonna do the same thing for those first party games right now?
Well, yeah, but
I'm sorry, like, I'm not gonna go out and pick up a fucking Xbox because of any marketing deal. I could play it on any fucking platform, and if I already got a PlayStation, I'm not going in to go get an Xbox to play that because I can play it on my PlayStation.
No, with
well,
that
I mean,
aspect,
right now we
no.
only know we know of the exclusives that Microsoft has coming out up until this summer. We don't know what they're going to
Correct.
be doing for
Well,
the fall.
afterwards, yes.
So
I mean, just
I think
currently.
really what I think would make a huge difference for Microsoft is instead of doing the 12 months from one E3 to the next, if they were to go maybe 18 months, like go the year and show us what's in the pipeline for the fall, I think that would go a long way to getting back some of that market share too.
Why, bro? So they can cancel production just like Scalebound?
Well, it'd have to
Can't
be a
they
little bit more
cancel
careful
it
on
because
making sure it's on track.
wait. That Scalebound thing, that game was shit. I'm just being flat out. The game was shit.
Well, yeah.
The
How do
game
you
was
know,
a
bro?
nightmare.
How do you know?
Yes,
How do you
I
know?
know because they're a business, and if the game is good, they're going to push it out, send it out, make their money. If the game is shit, they're not going to put it out. There's a ton of games that get cut. Scalebound was shit. It's going to flop, and they knew it, and they just cut it. And they did a smart business move.
I'm gonna message you so you can give me the future lottery numbers since you obviously know how
Well,
everything's gonna
based
fucking pan out.
off of what I've seen and based off Monster Hunter, it's not a Monster Hunter.
You're a monster hunter.
I am, but it's not. It's not a monster. That's the comparison to.
I'm so
that
glad
game.
that Mike joined this show, bro. I love
You
that
know.
motherfucker, bro.
I'm just saying, like, why spend the money on these marketing deals when it's not really a third-party issue at this point? It's like,
Because it's gonna see a surge in the Microsoft name, bro.
is it?
It does grab the casuals.
They're gonna get a flash in the pan, dude. Maybe they need capital, bro, without investing a ton of money into it. You know
Yeah,
what
but I mean, like, what's the selling point, like, in
I'm
general?
not
Like,
saying that Xbox is dying or anything like that.
no,
All I'm
no, but
saying
I mean,
is-
at the same time, like, you already have the most powerful Xbox, and guess what? You're not winning NPDs every month. It's not a power thing. It's not a third-party thing. It's a first-party thing at this
but if
point.
you ask anybody else, though, bro, it's because the narrative is shift from power to games because Microsoft is the most powerful game console now. You know, there's a bias towards Microsoft because
Yeah,
There
it does
is.
certainly feel that way sometimes, doesn't it?
But
I
okay, so
being
3 years
completely
ago, the
sarcastic.
conversation was flipped. It wasn't who had the more games; it was the powerful
power.
hardware.
Yeah, because that launch lineup, come on,
Here's what
Xbox knocked that shit out of the
Here's-
park.
Here's what happened though.
So
Here's what happened though. Microsoft stopped worrying about that and put all of their focus into developing this powerful console.
and now it's games.
Back then, with a 360 in the 360 era, the previous generation, hardware was huge because the leap in tangible and visual difference in game quality was everything. Moving from the moving from the 1 to the 360. Or not the 1, but I mean the OG Xbox to the 360. You're getting into this point where you're the increase in graphical fidelity in games with all this R&D that's gone into making an X1X the change does not reflect the amount of money and time that's gone into it. I feel like they put all this money and put all their money in one, or all their chickens or eggs in one basket, hoping that all this power works, and they missed the cut where power was important.
No,
and,
you
and
know-
the market shifted, but they were already all in.
But see, I think where their problem actually fell, I guess actually comes back to exactly what you've been saying. They should have had a game exclusively only to the Xbox One X that showed it everything that it had, pushed it to the max, and gave you that, oh my god, this is what games could be.
Pushed it to
But
the
they
max,
didn't
exactly.
do it.
But it
they
needed to be,
didn't,
like,
though.
in an exclusive as
Like,
well.
because
I mean, they had games that look great. Forza looks great, and that's what everybody goes to, right? Oh, there's Forza, and
The problem is
and,
not everyone likes racers, so like that's kind of where that one fell a little.
and racing games are and I'm saying easy with heavy air quotes here, but racing games aren't hard to make look really good.
That's
You know what I mean?
That is.
That's true.
That shouldn't be your showcase for your and don't get me wrong, Forza looks gorgeous, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, the vehicles look excellent. I mean, all the way down to the treads on your tires looks freaking phenomenal. But that's not showcasing what you can do with a game. Give me a Metro. Give me I'm really stoked for Cyberpunk. But give me like a Witcher. Give me something with a lot of where it's going to really tax your hardware and just show me everything.
But I mean,
the Xbox
that's my
has.
point. I see people in the chat and they're like, GKB, you put it on the box and they're gonna associate it and da 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 da. Guess what? The Witcher was. Guess who bought it more? PS4 and PC.
But again, that's because they're known for RPGs.
I don't think that's the case at all.
You know what I think the biggest issue actually is for Microsoft? It's not exactly the problem with the first parties or the having third parties or anything like that. It's their marketing. They do not promote their consoles and their games the way that they should.
Good.
She also said,
holy shit! I completely forgot about that.
Everybody's saying how they have no RPG or they have no RPGs, right? So why does Sony have? Why does PlayStation have the esports right now? Why do they have the titles?
No, I just said they're more known for their RPGs. Not that Xbox doesn't have any. It's more.
Yeah, there are. I mean, and you're right. Xbox doesn't have a ton of exclusive RPGs.
But again, that's where
the reason why they have all the esports, like with COD and all that kind of stuff, is because Microsoft didn't renew the contract.
Yeah.
Sony went and bought it.
But see, that's why I'm saying that's where Xbox should have at least kept that. Like they're known for their shooters, but then they lose.
So they keep Call of Duty. Guess what? They're still where they are. Like it doesn't matter. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. To get people to come to your console, it's not about third-party deals. It's about first-party exclusives that you cannot get anywhere else. That's the only reason that you're going to pull anybody from any other platform to the Xbox.
And then, of course, Xbox
titles.
This is the biggest, I guess, on that, actually. They're sitting on big titles that people wanted sequels to, and they didn't even bother to bring those. Yeah. Sunset Overdrive, Son of Rome, like they have these titles.
That's why I said Microsoft. This whole thing has been behind the trends, not doing the right things at the right time, being very reactionary.
Exactly, bro. Like the power thing. It took too long to get that power together and to push it out. And by the time they pushed out, the train had left the station and nobody cared about power anymore. And I don't care if you want to say that it was market bias or media bias or that.
Well, I get what you're saying. Like, I'm very, very happy with my One X, but
yeah, and you should be. I mean, it's an awesome piece of hardware, but it's not what people want anymore.
Well, and I think the problem is because now the One X came out in November, and here it is April. We're already talking about next gen.
Yeah,
we're not talking about what's happening with the hardware that we have now. We're talking about what hardware are we going to be getting. So that's like what you were saying. It's the wrong timing.
Next gen is becoming more and more of a watered down term that I don't even pay attention.
I don't even think there's really gens anymore.
No, they're just kind of consoles when they release.
Next gen has gotten to the point where it's like, oh, next gen is just what is the console going to look like at this point?
But the thing is, the thing about when it comes to the Xbox is, again, they have the 3 years that they took to create the Xbox One X. And Phil Spencer, once again, he should have had a game to release just with that, not to go back on the Xbox.
It's not a power narrative. It's not like. Here's the thing. Like, I get.
But no, it's your exclusive. But I mean, like, they should have had an exclusive game just to that to help promote the Xbox One X. That is what I'm like.
I don't think like I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I hear it's like games that promote the Xbox One X. But here's my thing. It's never been a power narrative. Yes. There have been cases on the media when it launched.
Power though, I'm talking about just the exclusive.
But you're just saying to show off the power of the Xbox One X. Why would?
Well, no, it's the exclusive for the Xbox. Like, not just.
Good.
Go Brutal.
Are you when you say it's never been a power narrative? Are you saying it's never been a power narrative in the sense that that's never been Microsoft's main goal? Or are you saying it's never been a power narrative in the sense that that's not what the media and the market wants?
Yes, there have been sites out there that have been talking about 1080p and stuff in the get-go, but a lot of that was just Microsoft's fault to begin with their shitty messaging to begin with, and they just roll with it for the clicks. I get that, but the reason why people are still buying PS4s is because of the fucking phenomenal, number one, you got to stop listening to the fucking fanboys out there that are fucking moving the goalpost every fucking which way, number one. It's never been about power. And the reason being is because the Xbox One X is out. Yeah, it's doing better in the U.S. Whoop-de-fucking-do. It's still getting destroyed worldwide every single month. And why? Because there's no real first-party games that anybody really gives a shit about. I know that's a fucking shitty thing to say and probably going to piss off a lot of people out there, but it's the truth.
Let's go back to like what we were talking about last week then. Is Microsoft like lining up things in the backside to where they're getting
they probably are. They're probably getting ready for the next, gen, quote unquote.
Or where they're building their services, right? They're building and that's what a lot of people are saying, that
they're focusing more on their features than they are.
It's becoming an entertainment center. And it's being known for its features, but eventually you have to get to an architecture and a structure where you're happy with the features that you offer, and you need to get back to your roots and offer what an Xbox was originally for, and that's gaming, not Skyping and making video clips and watching Blu-rays and social, and that's one thing that Xboxes have going for the online social aspect of it is much better than PlayStation, but it doesn't warrant picking it over any other console because there's no games to play on your gaming console. Your gaming console. And I'm so tired of people saying, well, we got Crackdown coming.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like there's no...
I saw that in the chat. Crackdown's not coming in June. I don't know where...
Well, there's not been announced. Who knows when it's coming. It's kind of like a leaked thing, but...
Well,
but here's the thing, Crackdown 3.
Here's when it's coming.
Crackdown 3 already been destroyed by Microsoft themselves by fucking up their whole messaging on that, not believing in their fucking IP, not even knowing what Crackdown 3 is all about. You're going to go rework the graphics? Why? Crackdown 3 is all about the fucking gameplay. Get a clue, Microsoft, number one.
The graphics... The graphics, that's not what people play Crackdown for.
But I'm just saying, there's nothing out there right now that's comparing to what Sony is doing on their first-party exclusives. It's kind of hard to be hyped. And the only one I really care about right now on the Xbox is State of Decay 2. And that's because I love the first one. It was fantastic.
State of Decay 2 is going to be dope.
And what about the unannounced games? Because they're working on unannounced games, I believe.
I believe.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but they're unannounced. You can't talk about
them. We don't know what they are.
Yeah.
Just mention the unannounced but announced games.
They're not releasing any other big titles this year, are they? Like Gears or Halo well, we know Forza's not releasing.
Another Forza game is going to come out.
Like that's the only thing that keeps me around in wanting to stay with an Xbox and not just completely get rid of it and just pick up a PlayStation right now, because I don't drop a ton of money on my console hardware. I'd rather put money into my PC or into actual games rather than buy another console unless I absolutely have to, because the minute graphic details don't appeal to me. I'd rather spend money on games. But what I'm getting at is I completely forgot what I was going into.
God damn it, brutal.
I'm sorry. I could go back.
I got sidetracked.
But I mean, what? Okay, so the one thing that Sony has going for them. So the one thing that Sony has going for them is they tend to keep their franchises going a little bit more than Xbox has been. So they've had their Uncharted's, they've had The Last of Us, which we know a lot about, which are their bigger titles.
No, I think Sony took the fucking 360 handbook, stole it from fucking Don Matrick and all the rest of them, and said fuck you, and we're gonna follow it to a T this generation because it worked for the 360, and guess what? It's working fucking now. Microsoft has literally been behind the trends, behind in their messaging, behind in fucking everything, and everything that's been reactionary.
And then, of course, the first-party titles that they were releasing, Fable Legends.
Oh God.
You have you had Fable Legends. You also had Scalebound, and these were two big titles that people at least Scalebound anyways was a big title people were really excited for, and yet they dropped both of these big titles.
Why? That's the question. The question about that is why.
We don't know why. Why?
Well,
we know
because
why. It was shit. That's why they cut it.
Wait, well,
that's okay. Simple. It was shit, and they cut it. It's business.
Well, hold on a minute. Wait a minute. Which game? Which game are you
we'll never
calling
know,
shit?
honestly.
Which game?
No, I'm calling both shit.
You are officially kicked off the console corner. We will not be seeing Sith back next week, people.
Dag, throwing your weight around. She will messed up.
He's officially just
can't-
dissed
What?
two of like my like
It's
biggest.
fine. Like he doesn't. He thinks
I
their
know.
shit is fine.
I know.
I
It's fine.
look. I think that's why they cut it.
No, they didn't cut them because they were shit.
Well, there's other reasons behind
Scalebound got
Scalebound.
cut because the developer was shit because he decided to use the money elsewhere instead of actually using it where it was
But
supposed
still, at
to
the end
go.
of the day, it was Microsoft not overseeing the fucking shit. That's their
No,
fucking
that is their
problem.
fault. Yes, but regardless, okay, whether the game was crap or not,
Yeah,
that's
well.
not the point. The point was that they had exclusive titles that were coming to the Xbox and they dropped them and then haven't really focused too much more on promoting them. Like they had Recore. They didn't promote that game very well, and that game could have done much better than it did.
So if I understand what you're saying about the advertisements too, is the advertisement is just shit.
Yeah.
Like it been like that all generation.
Yep.
I mean, that's
What were we
no
watching?
one's-
The Flash.
No-
Oh,
Bro, here's one for
I don't
you
mean to
guys.
cut you guys off for a minute, but we were watching The Flash. Every commercial during The Flash was a
of War.
PlayStation commercial.
Yeah.
Every single freaking commercial, like literally, like every 15 minutes, there
you
was a commercial about PlayStation.
You got Sean Astin in a turtleneck and a fucking miniature blazer walking around a museum talking about pirates. So what do you?
I did see like 2 Sea of Thieves trailers
There's
on
a.
YouTube.
I'm scrolling through my Twitter right now, and something just one picture came up to me, and it speaks like volumes as to where we are right now. People are hype as, and then when I say people, I know there's the people sprinkled in and out that aren't, but people are hyped as shit for what right now?
God of War.
Hellblade.
Or Hellblade, yeah.
Hellblade is coming to Xbox right now.
Yeah.
And that's what people are excited about on Xbox is that a PlayStation game, not unknown at the time that it was a timed exclusive, whatever you want to call it. Hellblade is a fucking fantastic game, and it's coming over to Xbox, and that's what everyone's excited about for Xbox right now.
Well, speaking of Hellblade, what about Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden or like what did Xbox do with that? I don't know. I know it's a side step there, but
Yeah.
and because Ninja Theory, that's what automatically popped to my head. Is
Yeah.
Ninja Gaiden?
My point was that that Hellblade wasn't a Hellblade was a AAA experience on a AA budget.
Yep, for sure.
And
But I think Brutal. Think about what you just said. What's everybody excited about right now? A PlayStation game that's coming to Xbox.
And PC
Like it's
game.
great for Xbox gamers. I can't wait to play this game. But that's what we're all talking about. Is PlayStation's getting these games right now, and Xbox isn't. It was different earlier in the generation, but now things are flipping around, and people are excited about different things.
that's my point is that everyone's excited about that Xbox is getting a quote unquote PlayStation exclusive that's coming over now because my point is that Xbox isn't offering anything of their own that
It makes
would-
everybody excited to come for.
that would shadow Hellblade. Why was Xbox in discussion of Hellblade in the first place? To get it to come over to their platform. You know what I mean? Because I guarantee you Hellblade wasn't like, hey, can we come over there?
Okay, no, that's okay. When you put it that way, that's a good point. I see that.
Because Hellblade, the budget that they made that game on, they did plenty well enough on PlayStation and PC that they didn't need to have.
Dude, they made like bank on that stuff, dude. They did.
Yeah,
They
Of course they
Really
did.
good game. I can't wait
The
to play it.
budget on that game was
Like nothing.
ridiculously low for the quality that game was.
absolutely. And then the
And I'm
word of
not-
mouth and everything that came with that, like people were talking about, like
And
just.
does it have
don't get me wrong.
microtransactions?
I hope everybody.
I don't think it does.
I hope everybody picks that game up if you haven't played it yet on Xbox or wherever you play it. Because I could care less if you buy an Xbox or a PlayStation. And I think that
Play good
goes
games
for
on whatever.
everybody here on the show is that we're neither pro PC, pro Xbox, pro PlayStation. I think especially for me, I call it how I see it. And if there's bullshit going on, then I'm gonna say it.
Yep.
And
So we all
I
are.
know GKB is the same way.
Cool.
It's all about playing the games. That's the most important thing is supporting games as a whole.
Great games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And also the power. I think that's another thing. I know it's not all about power, but power is important,
I
and
think
that's
power.
why
I think convenience of power is important for a console player. But if I really am truly concerned about power and fidelity in my games,
You
I'm
go to
going to
PC.
play it on a PC.
Power's
Yeah,
gonna
and I
matter
truly
when the
care about
PlayStation
dumb
comes out
down
with their
and-
next console because
So you
then
think the
it'll
power
switch.
narrative is going to switch again?
It will.
Just
I don't think
just
so.
no.
Yeah. it
just
will.
No.
don't come at me about how much it costs to play powerful games on a PC versus a console, which is why I prefaced
Big Potato
console-
X, you don't need a lot of money. Just saying.
Either way, even if you don't have the knowledge to put together, and which is GK, what you did was fucking awesome, dude. And
Appreciate it, man.
don't let anybody knock that shit because
Fucking
putting
let
together
anybody
a
knock that
4K
shit, bro.
60 gaming machine at $500 is a feat in itself.
Oh, and I just want to point out, somebody said earlier that he went over 500 because he included the Xbox Live, guys.
Guess what?
Fuck
Xbox
you,
Live.
Baby. You done fucked up, boy.
You can't play online without Xbox Live, guys.
Yeah.
And I know y'all love the Xbox
I saw
ecosystem.
somebody put that. They were like, "Oh, how can you say it's like 560 because of Xbox Live?" I'm sorry, but
Oh, Jesus Christ. Who cares, dude?
Anyway, let's go ahead and move on.
and I'm not dyeing my hair green to match the Duke controller. It's just not happening.
That would actually be cool. I would like to see green.
I'm not doing green. Maybe I'll do it for E3. I'll do a temporary green.
Let's talk about some more gen. If I don't know, it's not really a. I don't think gens are like generational things are happening anymore. But PS5 details and launch time frame. So we got. It's a rumor. I don't think it's really substantial, but it's cool to talk about anyway. So some. I think it was like accurate. I can't remember the site of it off the top of my head now. I just got all crazed with that last topic. But they put out, like, they say there's a whole bunch of dev kits out there. It's supposed to be having some 8-core Zen CPU, Navi-based GPU, GDR6, which is not even out. Navi's not even out. So I don't know how they're having all that stuff. It's not out, but...
Ray tracing.
Yeah. So I don't know, like, how this is going to happen, if it's going to happen, or even if it's true. I do believe, though, this E3... Sony's going to announce some kind of new console. I don't know if that specs are going to be in that console.
We're going to get like a trailer. Like we're going to
Yeah,
get,
they're
like,
going to
their
announce
sneak
it kind of like the
peek
X,
thing
and
that
then
they
the
do.
next following year it's going to come out. I think they want to get ahead of the 2020.
It's gonna be like the silhouette of like a console with like a Roman numeral 5 that flashes across the screen. And everyone's like, was that a 5? Was that a 5, guys?
Was that a 5? Oh my God.
I don't know.
But yeah,
There's
like
gonna be some like cryptic message throughout their show. They're gonna be like, guys, if you listen, he tapped his foot 5 times, and he coughed in the 5-minute mark.
Or they'll introduce every trailer as in 5 seconds you will now see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some. I agree with you though, GKB. I think that they're gonna. I think it's gonna be a small teaser, but I think it's just gonna be just enough to stir the pot.
Just
up and
about- yeah,
get enough
exactly.
blood in the water to where people are gonna be like, "Oh, here it comes!
Yeah.
Fuck you, Microsoft."
well, the article was saying like
Xbox.
2018 possibly, and I was just like, no way, man. Like let's just say, like, for argument's sake, like this stuff is for real that's in it, which I don't believe it is. Like that's not happening this year. Like literally, none of that stuff is even out right now. So
Yeah,
how does
I don't
anybody
think
have
that's
dev
happening
kits with
this
that?
year.
Yeah.
I don't
And then
think
on top of
that's-
that, like, how much would this fucking thing cost with this shit in there? Like, get the hell out of here. Like, generationally, console power has always been a step behind the PC. Like, this stuff's not even out yet. So to come out and say that's what's going to be in it, I think is a little far-fetched. I think maybe this is something to developers like, hey, build a PC to kind of this spec that we might be doing. I don't know what that's going to be or what that entails and all that kind of stuff. But
There's a lot of variables that go into that, and I think, like you said, it's kind of a performance that could get close to matching what that hardware could do. But like with all consoles, heavy optimization, and a lot of gray area to whether or not it's not, it's not 4K, it's 4K upscaling or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Well,
It's
I would like all the boards are all, like, because it takes usually 3 to 4 years to develop a console. Wouldn't it, like, regardless, all the parts in it would have to be previous versions anyways? Because that's the only
you're
way
looking
that
at
you'd be
cost
able
at that
to-
point. Like GDR6, like we don't even know how much that shit's gonna cost. Like I don't no graphic card out there like really has that stuff in it right now. Like Navi is an architecture from AMD that's not even out yet. It's supposed to be like this modular thing for this type of stuff, but I mean I don't see that happening anytime soon.
But I just mean, even if they say took everything that came out, just say like at the end of this year, the console still wouldn't be able to release this year.
No, I don't. I
You
don't
can't
think it's releasing this
manufacture
year,
a console in a year, like in a few months time period. It's just not possible. They still take time to actually get them working, especially the fact that, you know, the PlayStations have been having issues with their heating. I'm sure they, like, their next generation, they're going to be spending a lot of time trying to work on that to make sure that they can actually heat properly and the fans work. Like, so it's just, you know, it's going to take time regardless. So I don't think it's going to be able to have anything that's...
Irregardless, like, say they announce it and it comes out and blah, 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 whatever specs. I mean, we're getting to the point, like, I think we were just talking in the last one, that power is going to be going away. The narrative isn't going to be there anymore. Like 8 teraflops, 6 teraflops, it doesn't really fucking matter at that point. I think you're still going to get a great gaming experience. I mean, what are we going to be like? Oh, that God Ray is a little bit better on that console. Like, it's just going to be stupid stuff at that point. And then it's just going to come down to like what games you have on the platform at that point, which I'm excited for because that's what I'd rather talk about than stupid power and resolution all the time.
But the thing is, though, okay, so what's kind of funny about that whole like comment that you just made is the social media don't actually care really about one or the other. It's just what's going to draw in most drama. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how most of like the situations all actually circle around in the first place. It's just what's going to draw up the most drama to get the most views, to get the fanboys rattled. That's all it's really about. It's not whether or not one actually does better than the other. It's not whether or not, like, all the companies, I'm sure, just sit back and laugh about the whole entire thing to begin with because of the fact that, look at that, they're fighting over us. And like,
I mean, to face like 2-3 Bunky there in the chat, he's like Vega GPU with Navi Tech features, GKB. Dude, I gotta tell you, man, AMD's losing their ass on Vega. Like,
yeah, they are, bro.
They're not making any fucking money on Vega at all. Like, so I mean, what AMD needs to do is to get rid of Vega, move on to their next architecture, and just be done with that. So, I mean, yeah, is it a possibility? Sure. I mean, it was a possibility back when everybody was talking about the X. It was going to have Ryzen and all that kind of stuff, and we know how that turned out. Who was right on that one? Oh, yeah, this guy.
PS5 is going to have Vega because they're just going to be all given to them by AMD. They're like, we don't.
Yeah, I mean, basically. I mean, it could be like one of those. Well, I mean, like the
25% market value.
Yeah, the 2200 like Gs and all that kind of stuff like have, you know, like these low end like Vega stuff in them, but I mean, I just don't see it. Like, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see like what's going to be in this. And yo, Max Power, love you, bro. Go follow that guy. Go check out his YouTube channel. That dude makes some fucking awesome videos. And yo, Max, if you want to do something together, man, you hit me up, bro. Like,
Face says She-Wolf means PlayStation 4 and Pro is loud, not overheating. No, they were overheating. I have.
Well, there was like, yeah.
I have an actual PlayStation.
They are loud
like
too.
fangirl.
Sure.
Well, yeah, they are loud. But I had one. She actually stated she would like hold hers to keep herself warm because they got so hot. Like, no, they actually got really hot too. So, no, I do know what I'm actually talking about.
Yeah, jalapeno chip Vega is inside some of the Ryzen chips, the 2200Gs and all that kind of stuff, but they're like really low end stuff, man. Like, I mean, you could see the benchmarks and all that kind of stuff and all that stuff. It's not like having an actual Vega 56 or Vega 64. Yeah. What do I know?
Hardware.
What do you know?
Thanks, Jesse Darby. I appreciate that, man. I'm glad you checked out.
Excited for Vampire. That's releasing in June.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. Oh man, I can't wait to see more and
Dude,
more.
that story looks so good.
A game releasing in June?
That's a good spot, man.
It is, especially a vampire game that's set in London. It's gonna be amazing.
June's a good spot. Like, there's not a lot of games that come out during then. Like,
there's not a lot of vampire games too. I'm thinking of like Soul Reaver and.
Oh, dude, I would love another Soul Reaver.
They really need to make another Soul Reaver
game.
Oh,
absolutely, bro.
Reboot that series. Do something with it. My God, those were such good back in the day.
Who's the developer that did the Shadow of the Colossus remake? Is that Blue Point, Blue something? I forgot who they are. They need to take Soul Reaver and fucking do that game. Oh.
Yeah, just do all the Legacy games from beginning to end.
Wasn't it Idios or something?
It was originally, yeah.
That's like Hitman's studio, or they worked on Hitman 2. Shit. A lot of stuff with Square Enix too.
It says Shadow of the Colossus is action adventure game developed by Blue Point.
Yeah, Blue Point.
Games.
That's what. Cool.
Damn, Blue Point does like a lot of stuff.
I was talking about Soul Reaver.
No, I
Alright.
know, but
Let's go on to the next topic. It's getting kind of late, guys.
Oh.
I was looking at time. I was like, oh shit.
That whole Xbox PlayStation debate just got real lit.
Yeah, it just got crazy up in there.
Taking a lot of time.
So is there any hope for Sea of Thieves and Destiny 2 with these small updates going forward?
well, I don't know. Destiny 2 needs to actually push out the updates that they say they're going to, because
Yeah, but all their
Iron
updates are
Banner-
like, hey, we're just going to put Destiny 1 features into Destiny 2 again.
yeah,
Yay!
well, at least that could still bring people back if they actually put them in. Like,
They-
where's
they
Iron
need
Banner
to,
6v6?
the updates need to actually change the way people play the game. Because look at the perfect example. Look at the Division. I don't know if anybody's played the Division since they've released all of the
I did. I played it a little while back to check it out for sure.
latest patches and whatnot. But I
It is a different game.
legitimately fell back into the trap of the Division and really thoroughly enjoyed and I would go to work and looked forward to going back home and grinding Division because I felt the sense of reward. And the way the Division is now, if Division was how it is now versus how it was at the end of its initial vanilla in-game material, and by that I mean when they first introduced the first incursion, Division could have really blown up, and I think Division 2 is going to be fucking phenomenal if they start where they are now and give all that content how they have it now. Sea of Thieves needs to add a fuckload of content, and
That's what I'm saying. Is it's like a little too late.
I'm talking game changing content to get people back on and really, really push it. It's dependent on how much money that Microsoft wants to dump and Rare wants to dump into marketing the game again after they revamp it, because right now Sea of Thieves is going to be dead. And it's, I mean,
Oh, but apparently it'll be an amazing game in 2 years.
okay, fine.
Call me then.
Please be an amazing game in 2 years, because I had a lot of high hopes for Sea of Thieves.
They
I'm
have
not-
this huge ocean that literally is just empty.
Yeah, and there's
They had the Kraken.
so many countless opportunities that Sea of Thieves missed, and please prove everybody wrong and come back and wreck everyone's face with Sea of Thieves in 2 years.
You
Is
can
anybody
guess.
going to care in 2 years though?
Maybe.
Guys, it'll probably be me. I can guarantee it'll probably be me.
How long ago did Division launch? And Division died, and everyone hated Division. And when
You got games like Minecraft. People are never going to stop playing that game. So yeah, Sea of Thieves, if they can bring that crowd there.
Sea of Thieves is Minecraft-esque in some instances.
It has the ability to be a living game like what Minecraft is. If they can keep.
Honestly,
But Minecraft base had more content because
Sea of
you
Thieves
could
is never
do
gonna be looked
everything.
the
at.
problem with Sea of Thieves is the fact that they didn't take into consideration of all style of gamers. So, see, Minecraft, you can go in by yourself and just enjoy and just make things, have fun in your world, do what you want to do. Or you can have people come in and they can do things, or you guys can fight. You can do several things in Minecraft. But when it comes to Sea of Thieves, the problem with that, here's a perfect example. Our 7-year-old, he loves the game, but he's already been treated so badly in that game because, one, he's tried to play by himself, but because you have this little tiny ship by yourself, but you're still in the ocean with all the big ships and stuff like that too. All the big guys were just jerks and would go and just destroy him. And all he wanted to do was just go to the islands, find treasure, fight the
That's
skeletons.
why they need PvE servers.
They need that's the problem, because then he turned around and he would join the 4-person crew thinking that then he would at least have a chance. But because he's young and he just wants to have fun with it, they all locked him in the brig and started sending him FU messages nonstop and just filled his inbox with FU messages, and he's 7. So
Great job, Microsoft.
they
Great
need
job.
to take in
Yeah,
consideration.
where's those bans, Microsoft?
Yeah, exactly. Where's those goddamn bans and shit?
Where's the safe areas for us gamers out there?
I mean, clearly Rare didn't think of the 7-year-old playing the game. That doesn't make any sense. why they didn't think of that. Why
My
they
problem
didn't
with
think.
Sea of Thieves is their messaging, dude. Like they say, like make your own story, right, and make the game yours and how you want to play it. And
Except you can't.
but
Yeah, if you're a solo player, your story sucks.
your story sucks, and you have to.
You don't get
And-
good stories, solo player.
even if you're a god mode like solo player, like, right, make your own story. How? Like, where's your own story part at? Like, where's the? I just think that they pitched this game as this epic experience,
Adventure and yeah.
and it's epic for 10 minutes.
Hmm.
You get the feeling of sailing, and 10 minutes is an exaggeration.
So,
and
I'm sorry. So what they should have done was cancel the game and actually work on like Conker's Bad Fur Day or something. I mean, that's what they should have worked on. I mean, it would have been smart for.
They shouldn't have canceled the game. They should have not released the game until they had more content.
Should have put
They
an early
should dump
access.
more money into it. They had to release it at this time because it would have been a sinking ship. The same thing with that
look,
Scalebound.
I saw
that
what you did
everyone
there,
loves.
Sith.
They could just drop that shit. They should have just dropped the shit where it was at. Like, hey, we don't want this game anymore. We don't want to put money into it anymore. Just shit it out, and hopefully it's in a good enough shape to make money, which I doubt. But yeah, hopefully, it was set sail, pun intended.
See what you did there, bro. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like even Destiny 2 at this point, I'm just kind of like, I'm over it. It's a fun game. It's got great gameplay mechanics, but at the end of the day, it's still just the same shit every day. Go do your weeklies, your grinds, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, they're adding these challenging modes and and all this other kind of stuff, but it's not really enough to bring me back into the fold and continually playing it.
I mean, I feel like I don't even really need to say it again, but I'm going to say it again anyways. Like, where's the reward in all this grinding?
Agreed.
You know what? The same damn thing happened to me with Destiny 2 as what happened to me with Destiny 1. I bought the season pass. I stopped playing the game before the first DLC came out.
It's true.
And now there's going to be like another DLC that comes out next year that's not part of the season pass, and everyone's going to start playing it again, and I'm going to be like, God damn it, I got to buy this game again.
The same shit happened to me, dude, with Destiny 1, and I didn't buy the season pass for Destiny 2 solely because of that. And I didn't even get to the DLC either. I fell off. And I feel like, does anybody play Destiny 2 anymore?
I really haven't played it in months, dude, to be honest with you.
Nope.
I used to get on like when Zero would have a nice weapon or something. I would just hop in and grab it and then bounce off. But
Yeah, just so you can that's easy. But like,
I haven't even completed the game, and it's a Bungie game. I can't believe we live in a day and age where I didn't complete the story of a Bungie game after Halo. So yeah, that's that.
I just feel like gaming in general is just disappointing right now, and I feel like we've hit a lull in good epic games lately.
Wait until April 20th.
Yeah.
God of War, bro.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We've hit a lull, and I feel like we're starting to see the uprise in really good, high quality titles. And I might just be speaking out of my ass because
Well, like
you're not.
on Wednesday, we're getting Hellblade, so that's something to look forward to as well.
Hellblade's awesome.
I thought, shit, it's Wednesday. I was hoping it was Tuesday. I was hoping to finish Far Cry and then hop on that. And I think I could beat that in 8 hours, 10 hours?
Yeah, it's a shorter game, I hear.
You could probably beat it in less than 8 hours, but
I'm trying to beat that before God of War.
oh, that'll happen, bro. Don't even worry about that.
Yeah, you just plug it in for the weekend, you'll be good.
Yeah. GKB, do you think they're going to get rid of Vega and go with Horizon on the next generation? I think the next generation needs a CPU upgrade badly. That's really they need to improve on is the CPU for sure.
They just need to improve on everything because, man, like many people said, like when these consoles came out, it was way underpowered. And, I mean, that's that.
Yeah, like I had one of the comments too about like future proofing and stuff on the last video I did, and I was like, well, if you look at it, like when PS4 and Xbox One came out, they were already behind. They were already outdated at that point. So, I mean, how future proof were they?
They're looking out for us, and so we're never gonna have to buy another console again.
All right, guys. We had a couple more, but we're kind of like out of time at this point. But I'm gonna go ahead and let all these cool people shout out what they got going on and what's going on in their lives, and do all that kind of cool stuff. Sith, what you got going on, bro?
Not much. Just trying to get these games completed before God of War. I might be dropping out some videos, maybe.
Do it, bro.
Do it.
But yeah,
Do it.
that's about it.
Nice. Brutal, what you got going on, dude?
Yeah, man. Same old,
Dakota,
bro.
cool me down.
Mine's fairly simple. I don't like to put a lot of time into making videos, so I stream. So you can come follow me. Come follow me on Mixer at GBO_brutal. I think the link's down underneath the channel or underneath the video. Same on Twitter. That's where I do all my announcements for streams and stuff. And as always, the show is fucking excellent. Thank you for everybody in the chat. And thank you for everybody who comes out and supports us every week. You guys fucking rock.
Heck yeah, man. Yeah, make sure you guys go check out the GBO crew, man. They're doing some big things over on Mixer.
Man, I'm on that 1,000. I'm on that 1,000 follower hike, dude.
Yeah, bro. You're getting there, man. You're almost there.
Pushing up toward. Well, I'm coming up on 800, but
Dude, not much longer. You get a good feature, bro. It's a couple hundred views right there.
I mean, if I get a feature, I think I'll hit 1,000.
For sure.
My last feature, I had 312 new followers. So
Nice.
Nice.
Magic Mike, what you got going on, bro?
Hey man, everybody, you can always find me on Twitter at MagicMike83, and other than that, you'll be able to find me here every Monday night on the Console Corner. And thank you all so much for coming out and follow us. And great conversation there, everybody. It was a great show.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, really
Good stuff.
a lot of fun.
Got a little heated there a little bit. What's up, Fox? How you doing out there? We see you. Chief, what you got going on?
Other than going to kill the dog, he just keeps whining.
Hey.
You say bye, and that's when he just starts. He does it on my stream too. But other than that, you can find me on Mixer, hanging out Monday to Friday. Other than that, find me on Twitter and Xbox, Discord, all those fun places.
Cool. We'll be working on a bunch of other videos and stuff. Working on the Baked Potato X project. It's kind of fun. I'm going to do some vlogs too. She was then, when are you going to start doing that? So I'm going to start working on those too. Yeah, big shout out to all the podcasts that were on last week. The Dazcast, Triple Cups, JKBs. You guys are awesome. If you guys want me to come on your shows too, just hit me up. I'll come out there. Max Power, we need to do something together, bro. I love your stuff, man. Make sure you go follow. Thank you, everybody in the community. You guys are awesome. Thank you for rocking out with us on the show. I know we're kind of not the normal podcast you guys watch, but I think we're kind of fun and entertaining. So we love you guys. Thank you so much. I'm GKB. It's the Gov at Twitter. You can follow me here. You guys have a fantastic one. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Peace.
Bang, boom, kapow.